All right. Good morning, everybody. I am here with Coach Lois Koffi. Yes, sorry. I want to say coffee when I see that. I know it's Koffi. Coach Lois Koffi. She's a professional speaker, training coach, Ironman triathlete that has coached thousands and thousands of people in business and healthy lifestyles to create more in less time so they can experience an abundant playground this world provides. She is a mom of 3, happily married. She herself leads by example, only working 9 months out of the year, taking 3 months off, utilizing the tools she shares with her clients. She loves to travel the globe with her family and has become a highly sought after expert in recruiting, selling, and developing sales leaders for many companies. She is one of less than 200 certified trainers in the 12-week year workshops and trainings endorsed by the New York Times best-selling author Brian Moran. She knows that your time is your most valued asset that can't be renewed. In her section, she will give you 3 simple steps maximizing your time so you can make more money, have more abundance, love, create vibrant health, and more in 2020. And you can learn more on her website, which I am going to drop into the chat for you. Take it away, my friend.
Awesome. First of all, I want to acknowledge Nicole. She and I have only met, I don't know if it was 3 months ago at a women's wellness event, which we have later today. Any of you are welcome to join us. And I just fell in love with her spirit, her passion, and her story, which I can't wait for her to share more later on the money side of things. And we were talking, gosh, I think it was only maybe 30 days, 45 days ago before this whole pandemic, we were actually going to have in-person events, and we shifted, we pivoted, and we still wanted to bring this powerful message of leveraging your time and money. Like she said, I've been in business for over 20 years. I've learned a lot, the good, the bad, and the ugly about how valuable and invaluable time is. And I'm going to share with you more of that today. I want you to take notes. Our goal is I'm going to be speaking for about 20-ish minutes. So Nicole, if you can even maybe give me a 2-minute warning, because sometimes I have the gift of gab and I love talking. So we will open it up for Q&A at the very, very end, after Nicole has her turn. So please take notes. And if you do have questions, please hold them to the end. I want you to set a goal. What are you going to take forward today? You guys are probably on information overload from all different webinars, speakers, teachers, trainers, the media. Everyone's got thoughts on time and money right about now. I'm going to also share with you at the end how you can stay in touch with me past today's call. But my goal, no matter what, is to educate and empower you during this crazy time. So it looked like, I think everyone on here said they were a 1. So that means you are a business owner. I just want to clarify, no matter if you were a business owner, whether or not you're a mom or not, whether you're single or married, time is truly our only non-renewable asset. That's why I always say when I meet with someone, thank you for your time, because if you're meeting with me for an hour, if you're here on this webinar, you can't get this hour back. And I've studied time management, even though there is no such thing as time management. Spoiler alert, it's actually choice and energy management, and it's a mindset. So I'm going to talk to you about that today. But it's really the process of your choices over your 24 hours. A lot of people seem to forget that everybody has same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. And oftentimes I've had people say to me, Lois, how do you get so much done? And the 3 tips I'm going to give you guys today is a lot of how I've been able to leverage time and not burn out, although I have my burnout story too that I'm going to share with you. We were all born and created for structure. I love these 2 kids. They're just living life, and I can't wait to get back and give you guys in-person high fives. But we were all created for structure. Kids right now, I have my 2 amazing kids, 7 and 11, here at home, and they were used to structure at school, right? They had PE, they had math, they had reading. Even when we were born, we had a poop schedule, a sleep schedule, a feeding schedule, right? And as moms, if you are a mom, you probably remember the pain of getting your life on track again after sleep deprivation and trying to get those kids to eat and hopefully poop on a schedule. And once we get into that rhythm, there's a rhythm of nature. I grew up on a farm in Iowa. My dad had, he worked 365. He never had a day off because he was a dairy farmer. He had milk cows. If he didn't get up every day at 5 or 5:30, the cows would be bellowing and the whole household would be waking up because they needed to be milked 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 like a clockwork every single night. Yet somewhere along the way, life happens. Life happens to us, and in a lot of ways, I think it happens for us. Our lessons in life can help us have a conscious interrupt on how important time really is. So I faced that journey when I was doing Ironman triathlons. I was also a real estate agent. I had a schedule. I got up every day. I had to train for 2 hours every morning. I wanted to get to the office before 9. I was very, very scheduled, but there were a lot of things that I didn't schedule in my life that I learned would cost me a lot of money. It cost me my health. And it's one of those things that I want to impart my wisdom upon you right now, because with this pandemic, there's a lot of stress, right? There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of, I call it noise, people wanting your attention, people wanting to meet with you. And what I learned when the recession happened, when the real estate crash happened, and I was in real estate at the time, I lost everything. I was to the point where I was homeless. I even had my car repossessed. So all I had was a bicycle. It was a really good thing I was an Ironman triathlete because I did like bicycling. But it was my first true time. And if you can make sure everyone's muted, that'd be awesome. If you're just joining us, welcome. It was my first time to experience what what we all know now is shelter in place. And I was freaking out. I was like, what do I do with my time? How do I do this work from home thing? And I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that right about now. I was used to face-to-face, belly-to-belly selling and business, always shaking hands, kissing babies, working the room. And now all of a sudden I had a landline because my phone was shut off thanks to Verizon. They actually wanted me to pay my bill and I couldn't. And I had this new thing called Skype to learn. I had to learn how to do conference calls. And at that time it was just conference call lines. This was way back in 2007 and 2008. And I will tell you, even though it sounds like an awful experience, and trust me, I had a lot of dark nights and depression and anxiety through that time. However, I came out of it like the phoenix rising from the ashes because I focused on my mindset. I focused on the things that I'm sharing with you today that I am still using today when this pandemic happened. And for a lot of people, the sky was falling and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, I got this. I've been here before and it was worth the price of admission. And my hope is to be able to give you these 3 things in rapid fire. So again, take notes so that you can have encouragement and hope through this time. So really quickly, this is my family in the middle there, my 2 beautiful children. Traveling, that's one of our passions. We can't wait to get back to it and build, my business all over the world. I do work from home full time. I do want to just be in different time zones and move across the globe when we're able to do that again. I grew up on a farm, like I shared with you. That's a picture of my family farm, and that's how I think I really started to learn about time management. And then, of course, being an athlete, the 12-week year. If you haven't read that book, it's based on science. It's based on the science of periodization, which in my past life, I have been a personal trainer and I've coached thousands of athletes and people to do marathons and stuff like that. So I did learn about how to, live life on a schedule. And I know that helped me. And there at the end, there is a picture of me, one of my mentors who also helped me bounce back from the Great Recession. So here's just a real fun image of something that I want you to remember too, if you even want to take a picture of this, is when there's days where it seems like the sky is falling and you're frustrated, you feel like you didn't get anything done, you attended one too many Zooms, and your list of things to do just exploded. I want you to focus on what you can control, and that is your mindset. So these 3 tips, and I apologize, I didn't realize these did all these flows, so I'm just gonna, stick on and go right into the next page. But first and foremost is building your mindset daily. And I'm sure you guys have heard this before. What I really want to bring home is your morning ritual. How are you waking up in the morning? When I was going through the recession, I did choose, it was a conscious choice, and I was actually coached on this, so I'll coach you the same. I did choose to get up still the same time every day. I was, training, and I was used to going to the gym. I can't do that now, of course, but I still got up at 5 a.m. every day. Even though I didn't have real estate clients anymore, I decided to choose a new path and started my sales training and speaking career at that time. And I still had my ritual every morning. For you, that might be meditation. For you, that might be going for a walk. For you, that might be prayer. For you, that might be deep breathing. Just don't forget to breathe. And I would encourage you to not grab for your phone the first thing and see all the text messages that are, flashing in your face. Don't check Facebook. Don't check the news. Just find a moment of solace with yourself. And throughout the day, even just checking in and taking a deep breath and saying, how am I showing up right now? Because how you show up and how you appear to the world is part of your energy that's coming from your mindset. Your mind is like an energy source and field, and what you are thinking, you're projecting. Thoughts are things, and if you've had some fear, if you've had some anxiety, you can change that. You can absolutely change that. Louise Hay, thoughts are things, and things can be changed. So rewrite your story, starting with affirmations. I even actually recorded affirmations on my phone. If anybody would like some examples of affirmations, again, I don't have enough time to share with you today my favorites, but make sure you find a way to build your mindset daily. And to think is to create. So whatever your reality is right now, that's a result of the thoughts that got you where you're at today. And having a mentor, or coach, support person like me or Nicole or whoever that person is for you, that's what got me back on my feet, quite honestly, because left to my own devices with my depression, anxiety, and all that other stuff, I don't know if I would, in a lot of ways, be where I'm at today without that support. So again, in summary, on step number 1, build your belief first thing in the morning every day, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, your morning ritual, your miracle morning, like that book. I love that book. But also, don't start your day without writing out your vision. I have right here my clipboard. And I'm not perfect. I'm human. I don't do it 100% of the time, but 80 to 90% of the time, after I do my rituals, I write out my day. I have a document that I'm going to share with you later that I also write down my vision. You could call it vision, mission. Maybe you have a vision board, but stay connected visually to what it is that you want to create. And like it says on the slide here, this is a great time because hopefully you have a little extra time and you're not just drowning yourself in a bunch of Zooms all day, every day. Take some time to reflect, whether it's in the middle of the day or before you go to bed, and write that vision again and ask yourself, what do I truly want in life right now? Because just like I reinvented myself in 2007, 2008, and 2009, I'm actually doing a lot of new stuff now because I know that that is what helped me grow during that time. Number 2 is learning an online skill like I did. And again, this applies to anyone, whether you have a business or not, even for your hobbies. Learning online skill as part of your time management, time choices, time use is huge right now. I learned how to use Skype back in the day. I learned how to use teleconferencing and webinars. I teach my clients on how to do this as well, because we don't know what this new normal is going to look like, right? And everyone's or at home right now. I love Nicole's webinars and what she has to offer. She's really got a great audience. So if you don't already have an online presence, this is a great time to focus on it, make it one of your daily goals. And how do you connect with your audience? putting a plan together. What I did back in the recession, I created a tele-seminar series. I still actually sell that to this day. It turned into an online college course for MBA students at Concordia University in Irvine. And I still have that course that I still sell to this day. So whatever you do now with online skills, you can repurpose it and you can sell it forever. Or it's attraction marketing, right? You want to be able to have people find you and follow you and have a reason to do so, right? You want to have compelling content. You also want to make sure you have a CRM. I know I started working with a new CRM, and because of the pandemic, I actually had the time and the bandwidth to do it. And it's a huge learning curve. It's challenging my brain, which is also a good thing. Whether you want to create a YouTube channel, a Facebook fan page, StreamYard or Zoom webinars, those are more popular than Skype, blogging, ebooks, affiliate programs. I do a lot of coaching on affiliate programs, which is another residual income stream, another way to make money while you sleep. And again, the idea behind this is you create once, it lasts forever, and you can always repurpose it. I'll give you an example. I went out of my comfort zone and I started a podcast, which I'm excited. Nicole is going to be on my podcast this Friday as well. This is Nicole week for me. We're talking about money. Woohoo! And anyway, I started it, and in that first week, I acquired 2 new clients. I wasn't expecting it, guys. I came from a place of just, I want to give, I want to help people right now. And quite honestly, I knew from what I learned in the recession, it was a great time for me to do it for me as well, because I have a lot to share, a lot to give. So what can you start right now? Set a goal and be able to create that and do that. Oops, I said that was step number 3. I was trying to master time and compress time frames, so that was step number 2. Last step here is to be a master steward of your time and energy. Those are my passions because I've been in health and fitness. I've been in sales. I've been the workaholic salesperson that nearly killed herself. And now I'm come full circle. And I've learned so much. The book, The 12-Week Year, again, I'll throw that on the next slide, is really important. I also pulled up something here quick, guys. I'm going to do a quick pivot and share with you if I can find it. Here we go. If anybody wants a copy of this, please shoot me a private message, or I'll share my contact information. You can email me or text me a copy. So this is my daily compass and guide. Hope you guys can still see my screen. This is a tool that I share with all of my clients who work with me, but again, I'll give it to you guys for free for attending today. But I write down everything. I also write down my time blocks, what I'm going to do for my mind, my body, my spirit. I'm all about mental, physical, spiritual well-being. And at the end of the day, I review my day. What worked? What was my favorite part? I focus on the good. Did I show up with greatness? Was I kind? Those are just things that I value. You can always change that. And also, what disturbed me today or distracted me from my goals? In other words, what didn't work? My daughter, I'll get to you soon. Bear with me, son. All right. So those are powerful questions to ask at the end of every single day as well. Let me get back to my slides here. I'm looking at my time. I got 4 minutes. Awesome. So here we go. And then your model work week. That's something from the 12-week year. What that looks like is just basically, and it's about learning and testing. I'm all about testing because there's no way you can figure it out on the first try, right? So being able to decide, when is the best time for my sales calls or lead generation, prospecting, whatever you call it. When is the best time for my follow-up phone calls? Because guess what? Those for me are 2 separate times. When is my best time to work on myself, my personal development time? I actually have a 3-hour structure block every single week where I just fuel myself. I turn off the phone and I just fuel myself with positivity and training and knowledge and tools. And I'll even practice, new PowerPoints. And that's when I'll start creating my content for my podcast. What can you do to plan for your week? Because if you don't plan for your week will plan for you. Everybody's going to come and want your time. It's a law of the universe. If you don't stay focused on that, that's the time wasters and the distractions that'll come for you, I promise. The other thing, of course, is to set boundaries. and stick to them. Boundaries for me are, really limiting my time when I check email. Like I check email twice a day, 30 minutes at a time. Thankfully for me, I'm not in a profession where I sit on email. I know there's different professions out there that do that. So I want to be respectful to you and what makes sense for you. I know in real estate, I had to check email a lot. Now I'm grateful that I don't because it would drive me crazy. I don't have any notifications on my phone. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb half the time unless I know I'm expecting a client's call. Find out what your boundaries are. Usually you find those out by pushing the boundaries too far and realizing, man, you know what? I overdid my time on Facebook, or I got sucked in to the news. I got sucked into even stinking thinking. Having that reflection time for me in the middle of the day, I do put that in as a boundary, turn off my phone and just reflect, maybe journal, meditate if my energy is starting to drop. And that's how I truly leverage my time. On the bottom right hand here, it says list the top 5 things you spend your time on a day. That's something I also work with clients on, just to make sure that their priorities are in alignment. If you say, like for me and my husband, our goals were to travel the world and make unlimited income, but my priorities were not in order, I have my coach there to help guide me and direct me so I don't go down the rabbit hole. Let's see here. So this is the 12-week year by Brian Moran. I was certified and trained by him. So grateful for him and his tools. When I read his book, it was about 6 years after the Great Recession, and I had gotten sloppy. My time was starting to downward spiral because I was figuring out motherhood and juggling a lot of different things, and had fallen into a people pleaser world where I would say yes to everything. But after I read his book, I got more done in the next 6 months, it seemed like, than I had the previous 6 years combined. So I highly recommend that. Really quickly, here's a testimonial from one of my clients for any of you that would care to continue and stay in the conversation with me. She's with a company that she got world-class training and mentorship from, but she was stuck. And with just 30 days of working with me and my time management plan and my sales training plan for her, she was able to create more results in that 30 days than she had, quite honestly, in the previous 4 years. Just want a quick note, Nicole and I are going to be doing our podcast on Friday. If you can find me on Facebook, we're gonna be recording it live at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to get her interview and get more of Nicole, it's at Lois Koffi Enterprises. And for anybody that shows up today and has any interest, I know I'm got down to 10 seconds here. I do have a 33-hour at-home study course on mindset, time management, lead generation, communication skills. And normally it's valued at $2,000 right now with pandemic. I'm doing a huge special offer for anybody that would be interested in learning more. So thank you guys. That is my time. I want to honor Nicole and let you take over. And I'm excited to introduce Nicole. And she's a powerhouse. If you already know her, you know that. So bear with me 1 second.
That's awesome, Lois. Thank you. After you get settled, if you could drop that in the chat, the Friday podcast and your Facebook, that would be fabulous.
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. So Nicole J. Aspenson is making finances fun, and boy does she ever. Her compassionate and genuine warm-hearted nature is what her clients love most about her. She's passionate about helping small business owners, especially women, after feeling trapped in a 20-year verbally and mentally abusive marriage while raising a special needs son. Like I shared with you, her story is powerful. She's a sought-after speaker, financial coach, and an expert at connecting people and gathering resources for her clients. She's an executive vice president with 5 Rings Financial and founder of Anchor Financial. She works diligently to support her clients with an accounting and training background. Her clients feel at ease as they're gently guided throughout the learning process to anchor their financial future. So whether you want to take control of your finances or are interested in a career helping others achieve their financial dreams, Nicole can help you do that as well. Without further ado, take it away, Nicole.
Thank you. I don't know why this one is not sharing the way yours did. So I'll have to figure that out later. what happens to my Zoom. All right. So good morning, everybody. I appreciate you joining us today, especially to talk about finances. Sometimes that can be a little bit boring and definitely taboo. We're not supposed to talk about politics, religion, and sex. Not to worry though, I do make finances fun. So my first career, I became successful in leading, training, and managing in the corporate world. By the time I was 24 years old, I was a district manager at a retail corporate salon, had 5 stores total, including the one I was managing. And in the middle there somewhere, my son's father knew he wanted to be an entrepreneur, so I went back to school for accounting. I've experienced the financial roller coaster with some very sharp turns and deep slopes and hard rides, right? From having to roll change just to be able to buy groceries, taking the calculator to the store to make sure that I knew what I was spending, to building a $1 million construction company, back to skipping meals here and there so that there was enough food for my son to eat. And luckily in 2011, I discovered a financial services career in a company with mentors, leadership, guidance to learn how to build a 6-figure income. So no more roller coasters. I had watched my mom lose half of her 401k in 2008, and I knew I did not want to sign up for that plan. So I figured I would just be working every day until I take that dirt nap, never retire. I had no hope. And then when I found the mentors to help me not only learn how to build a 6-7-figure business, but I found hope. That was the biggest catapult to change and move forward for me. Prior to that, I'd spent a lot of years in survival mode, many different flavors. First, when my son was little and he had asthma, it was a full-time job just keeping him alive. And talk about 4 years of sleep deprivation. When he was 5 years old, we moved to California. He was off of all his medications within 2 years. And then when he went to school, I realized he had other challenges his peers didn't experience. It wasn't until he was 15 years old that we finally got the right or true answer that he has Asperger's, he's on the autistic spectrum. I'm like, oh, that explains so much. But before that, I just followed my instincts. I guided him as best I could. I was a married single mom. Some of you might relate to what that is. But my son and I were still in survival mode, surviving a toxic household with a verbally abusive alcoholic. And that's not him in the picture, that's my brother with my son in that picture there. Finding 5 rings was a life-changing experience for both of us. Now, we both recovered and built a strong relationship, and I chose so much better the next time around. I've been married for almost 1.5 years now to this wonderful, wonderful guy in these pictures. So sometimes life makes us go through extreme adversity, burns us down to ashes so that we can rise stronger and step into your greatness. Sometimes we have to walk a certain path. We have to experience so that we can hold space and help coach others through their journey. And that's why I'm really passionate about helping women become empowered and educated about money so they will never have to feel trapped because they don't understand or know how to move through money matters in their lives. Additionally, I enjoy coaching and educating entrepreneurs and small business owners how to leverage their money and create an exit plan so that they can retire with financial freedom. When I saw the mission of 5 Rings to empower and educate America, I knew I had found a high integrity organization with heartfelt leadership and a mentorship model. I finally found my home. And that gave me the space to love to be just loved on and to grow, and now I get to hold space for others to do the same. So when I started in 2011, I quickly matched. I had a bookkeeping and accounting business. I was already an entrepreneur. I quickly matched that income, and then the following year I doubled that income, so I knew it was time to transition to full-time. And I was having so much more fun. We get to go to dinners and have wine dates and meet up with people at coffee shops or in my office. It was way more fun. And now I have just so much grateful heart and love for finding this family. This is really my extended family. So we have a major barrier when it comes to understanding our financial options. There is a lack of education. Did you know 73% of Americans say that money is the #1 cause of stress? We should be teaching our children how money works, how to manage it, how to multiply it. I actually forgot. I have a worksheet for you guys. I can drop in the chat. You know, I will send it out later. You can go and take notes and I'll send the worksheet later. Next time we can have that. So we have Money, Mommy, and Me classes. Ask me about that. That is really the education piece that starts to teach parents and grandparents how to teach their children about money. So let me ask you a quick question. I think Lois already started this at the beginner, but how many of you consider yourselves entrepreneurs, self-employed, small business owners? Well, it's pretty much almost everybody on here today. Some may consider themselves an employee. Oh, here's where I can do the chat. I am going to drop the file in really quick for you guys and take an extra second here. Okay, I have dropped the worksheet in the chat, so if you want to open it up and just kind of see where it is to help you with the notes. So some of you might remember that three-legged stool. Our grandparents had that. They had a pension, Social Security, and then additional savings that they had of their own. Today, entrepreneurs, especially when you're young and starting, we really only have one of those legs to count on, and that's what you can save and invest yourself. So can I get a raise of hand for those of you who think you're going to retire at 65? None. 70. Someday. All right, a couple. And a couple laughs. All right. Maybe half the room figures, I'm going to work the rest of my life, just like I used to think. There's no retirement plan. And if you love what you're doing and you're an entrepreneur, you love what you're doing, so why would you want to retire, right? So right now I'm going to share a few statistics, and you can follow along. Oops. Did you know 30% of small business owners have not taken the time to estimate what they're going to need in savings to comfortably retire? They just have no clue. Less than 1/3 of small business owners have a financial plan for what their expenses are going to be in retirement. I think that really speaks to the fact that we really love what we're doing. Why would I worry about savings? Because I'm never going to retire. Am I right? So we really do need to redefine what does retirement mean? What is that word? It might be that you're going to take every Friday off to be with grandkids, or you're going to take 3 months off at a time and go travel like Lois is already doing now. Maybe you're going to work 3 days a week instead of 6. So we can work on that another time on just that redefining, but it really is something that I encourage you to invite you to go think about that later. Spend some time on that. So those of you that do have a 401k or an IRA, the average that lasts people is 6 to 7 years, because we're all in full control of it. So let me ask you a question. When are we going to stop needing money? Never when we take a dirt nap, right? So if you're going to retire at 67, even 70, or semi-retire, and you're expected to live until you're almost 90, how are you going to come up with that 25, 30 years of paychecks? Let's see, I think I just want to check something. Okay. So that's why 45% of baby boomers consider themselves an entrepreneur. We have this savings gap. 70% of Americans have less than, okay, I missed that when I was speaking. That's where I'm at. So 70% of Americans have less than $1,000 of savings. And 70% of, 45% of baby boomers consider themselves an entrepreneur right now because they're trying to make up for the plan or the lack of planning in the past. So I invite you to define the dreams. Define what is it that you're looking for now in your business, and in the future, redefine what does retirement look like for you. All right, are we ready for the 6 steps to anchor your financial future? Sometimes we have these storms. We go along and something happens that we weren't expecting. So first of all, you have to look at the past. So A is for astern. Take a look back at your life, at your business. For small business owners, sometimes those things merge very quickly and become one. So we need to define what it is that you're looking for. What lifestyle do you want to create? Sadly, too many business owners do not take time to look, and they don't even look at last year, let alone last month, what happened. If you haven't been paying attention to your financial statements for retirement, just look back and say, okay, where am I at now, and what do I want to do moving forward? So business owners, here are some things that you need to ask. So we can go in, again, this is on the worksheet I dropped in the chat. We can go into this another time, but just some key things. Take a few things in your profit and loss statement in your business. If you haven't been tracking, pick 2 or 3 and start tracking those. And then you can move forward. You don't have to be a bookkeeping genius, right? You just need somebody to manage that for you, but you need to learn how to read the profit and loss statement. So what money track is playing in your mind? That's the second part of looking back. Do you like the messages? Well, we're programmed when we're 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. We have these programs where people are speaking in our lives, our parents and adults around us. Did you grow up with, there's not enough money, we can't afford that? And if that's still playing, you get to change the channel. Do pay attention though, and rewrite that story, or learn to master your money mindset. That's some of the things we heard growing up. Money doesn't go on trees. We can't afford that. There isn't enough. All right, N is for navigate. Sometimes as entrepreneurs or small business owners, we forget to take time out to work on our business instead of just staying in our business. It's essential to know what's coming in, what's going out, where are you? And yes, I am talking about a budget. It's not a 4-letter word. See, it's 6 actually. So how does that make you feel? Does that make you cringe? Really, a budget is just a tool. If it makes you cringe, then you get to rename it. You can rename the name itself and also kind of rephrase in your mind, what does it mean? Because if a budget means looking back and slapping yourself on the wrist or not keeping up, you might as well not even have one. So what is your new name for a budget? Do you like a spending plan? Maybe an abundance guide? Perhaps a map to my future, financial freedom plan? What is it really to you It's a guidance to guide you through. And if you know that you want a pair of shoes every month, or you want an extra round of golf, that you plan and you build that in. You build in your gifting and your savings plans. So next is C for chart your course. Once you have redefined what is it that you want in your business, what is it that retirement looks like for you, that's the beauty. We've created a definition for retirement, made our vision, and now you get to get really excited about everything that you're going to achieve in your bucket list. It helps you stay the course, and it certainly helps you with the day-to-day choices of savings and investing and what you're investing in your business and where you're putting your money. So it's imperative to ask, where are you saving your money? Who's heard of the money tree? Let's start to master your money tree. There are 4 different types of money. First one, yay, free money. Most of us didn't raise our hand or say that, yes, I am getting a match, or I'm getting inheritance or something like that, right? So those are the things on the money tree that are the free match, inheritance, winning the lottery, not very likely on the second 2. The next is tax-free money. That is, I got lost somewhere on that. Okay. So how many of you love paying Uncle Sam? Nobody. He might be our uncle, but he's not our favorite uncle, right? So tax-free money grows non-taxed or tax-deferred, and take it all out tax-free. That might be a Roth IRA or a tax-free indexed account. So the third one on the money tree is tax-deferred. That's like an IRA, 401ks, TSP, 403b. That's where you put the money in, and the taxes are deferred. It grows non-taxable or tax-deferred and comes out, then you pay your taxes when you take the money out. And finally, there's plain old boring taxable money. That's the money you give Uncle Sam after you've made money this year. So next is the Helm. H is for Helm. You want to have a first-class crew, right? You want to figure out who that crew is going to be. The most important thing, though, is you are in the captain's seat here. So you've seen the ads where there's a gap between what people think they're going to need for retirement, what they're really going to need. You need to have a crew to help you create those plans. You need people like a CPA, you need a realtor, you need a mortgage broker, you need somebody who's going to help you with retirement and college savings planning. And if you don't have a first-class crew, or if they're not helping you, they're not talking to you in a language you understand, or they're telling you to do something you don't feel is congruent, you can fire them. You can throw them overboard and get a new crew. So that's the overboard. What if you hit a huge storm, crash? Who's going to be in your corner? It's important to plan rather than beat yourself up over that crash. Stay calm and course correct. Be flexible. Make adjustments along the way and have professionals to help you. Who grew up loving roller coasters? I did. Not with my money. If you love roller coasters with your money, though, you should be in the market right now. Find somebody who's really good at that. Most of my clients say, no, I don't like that plan, or at least for a portion of my money, I do not want to be on that roller coaster. I want to get off of it, and I don't think that they have a place other than just save almost no savings money, so they stay stuck. So the second part of that is building your foundation. Just like a house, you're going to build a house tomorrow, you build the foundation first. If you don't, it can collapse. And it's the same thing with your finances. We must build the proper foundation with your finances so that you know that you know that you know, at least for a portion of your money, it will be there in retirement. No matter your risk tolerance, I recommend you set up that foundation. So, okay, finally, R is for rest, relax, and reward. So if you went on a long cruise, you want to stop and at the ports and enjoy all the sights and scenes, right? It's the same thing with your business. Plan time to relax and reward yourself. You might have a big 5-year goal, but you chunk that down to what you need to do in 2 years to get there, a year from now to get there. What about this quarter, this month, every week? And every little milestone along the way, give yourself some small rewards. It might be taking Friday afternoon and walking along the beach. It doesn't have to be something that costs money. You can just take some time to enjoy and pat yourself on the back. All right, so summarize. A, the aft look, take time to look at where you are now, where you want to go, and plan to support, create a plan to support you on your journey. N, navigate. It's essential to know what's coming in and going out. That's your budget. C, let's plan to master your money tree. You are in the captain's seat, and stay calm and course correct. Make sure you feel supported, and rest, relax, and reward all the accomplishments along your journey. So I'm going to drop some things in the chat for you. But before I do that, I'll just close with saying, I wish you a prosperous journey as you chart your course to success. In the chat, I want to invite you to join us for Friday. Lois mentioned we have the podcast. Wednesday, who do you know that should hear what Lois shared today? There's a women's wellness group, and Lois is our guest speaker for that, so please join us there. And then we have Money 101 to learn all the nuts and bolts about money, what you should have learned growing up, what to do moving forward. And then Wine, Women, and Wealth is events where you can come and connect, especially right now. I'm so glad that we're online. We've been doing this for a while. You can make some connections. We can have a money mindset conversation and some networking and have fun along the way. So I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys want to raise your hand, then Lois can call on you while I put those events in the chat for us.
Everyone, this is applause on Zoom, so give Nicole a round of applause. Jazz hands, otherwise known as in Cards Against Humanity.
Yes.
All right. Does anybody have any questions on time or money? Or both? Peg? Peg, do you want to go first? And then Bwalia. Or were you just doing applause? Sorry, that was really cool. I've never seen that before.
I was just cheering you ladies on. A fantastic podcast, Zoom. I'm really excited what Nicole had to share. Were you going to drop that worksheet, or is it pretty much the anchor?
She did.
I did. I put it in the chat. Did it show up?
It did.
Well,
I saw it.
I didn't. I'll go back and look.
I can put it in there for you again.
Yeah, and I tried, Nicole, you have to teach me how to do that, because I tried dropping my Daily Compass document in there and it wouldn't go in. Is it only working with PDFs, not Word documents?
I think so. I think it has to be a PDF. Yeah, I save them as a PDF so that I can put them in.
Got it. Okay, I can do that.
I'm also, while we are waiting for people to raise their hand or ask questions, part of Mastermind Mondays. So if you're looking for a place to just make connections, we have a structure where there is a speaker, and then we have hot seats. So we do one person where they share a 1-minute commercials. If you know what you would use networking, we give them feedback on that. And then we have a couple of hot seats, like what's going on in your business right now? What do you really need help on, and then we all mastermind together to support and help that person. And we do have guest speakers, so let me know if you're interested in getting connected to be on the guest speaker list as well.
And just so you know, Nicole, I don't see your, did you drop the links?
No, I was just starting to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Does anybody have any questions so we don't distract Nicole while she's doing that? Does anybody have any burning questions?
Oh, you got your compass in there. Good job.
Yay, thank you.
Yay.
I learned something new.
I love it. Well, it's like every Zoom you go to, there's something new to be learning, right?
Just wanted to give gratitude to you both since it's Financial Literacy Month, and you did a great job of tidbits, and thank you.
Thank you. We have a YN Women in Wealth tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific time. So adjust for your time zone. I know we have people all over the country in here. And then we have Money 101s, 2 or 3 a week right now. Everybody, we have, about 50 mentors across the country that host these events, and we each in our own area all around the country. They're all online now, so it's really cool to be able to jump in and meet people across the country in different states and different areas. And for me, it's kind of like I get to go visit my extended family while we're here at home on Zoom, so I love it.
Cool.
I did drop my cell phone number in there too, but if anybody's on LinkedIn, I love LinkedIn. I'm going to drop my LinkedIn profile in there as well if you want to connect there. I post a lot of articles, but I also share a lot of other people's stuff, and it's just a great place to network and market yourself if you aren't already a LinkedIn person.
I have a question for you, Lois.
Oh, hi, Francine.
Yeah, I finally made it in. I finally made it in.
Yay.
2 questions. This is going to be, you're going to share this recording so I can go back and watch what I missed, correct?
Yeah, we're going to email it out to, as soon as Nicole gets it to me, I'll email it out to any of you that registered on Eventbrite. So I hope you got my Eventbrite emails. I've just been using them this year, so I don't know how those emails have been working. But then if you don't get it, that's why I dropped my LinkedIn profile. And of course, you know how to reach me, Francine. If you don't get it by, when do you think we'll send it out, Nicole?
We can have that out by tomorrow.
Okay,
It's going to take some time.
Yeah, no problem. If you don't get it, by tomorrow night, let's say, please shoot me or Nicole a message, whoever invited you.
Okay. And then how are you, because I have a LinkedIn account as well. I'm on LinkedIn. How, are there like any videos? Because I need like a tutorial. I don't really use LinkedIn. I mean, I have the account, but I just never really use it. How exactly are you using it to get out and all of that? Hey, Lucy, how exactly are you using that?
Thank you. That would definitely be a training question for another day, and I would actually defer. This is the power of mentors, because I can't teach it or do it all. I'd be a bad teacher on LinkedIn. That's why I refer you to Eric Lofholm. I do have a webinar with him tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. He's a master. He's the one who actually taught me how to generate leads online and close them with excellence, and LinkedIn is one of the things. I would say, if this is for everyone, if you're gonna dive into a platform, definitely find someone who's already doing it and doing it well. I'm reasonable at LinkedIn, but I would not be your coach on it. I could give you some advice, but that's why I follow Eric, because he knows how to leverage it. So if you can attend that webinar tonight, Francine, that might help you too.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a whole other workshop.
Or you can just go on YouTube and Google YouTube videos for LinkedIn. There's like LinkedIn for Dummies. There's a lot of stuff, and just be patient, because Rome wasn't built in a day. It took me a year to get really good at teleseminars, for example, a year to get good at webinars, and so it's a process.
Okay.
All right, we want to honor everyone's time. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Come join us and hang out with us at other events and things that we're doing. And as I say, whoever you think needs to hear what Lois shared today, she'll be doing that again at noon Pacific time with a women's wellness link that I dropped in there. All right.
Awesome. Hope to
Thank
hear from you
you.
guys. Stay in touch. Be well,
you,
be healthy,
Nicole.
and wealthy wise. Alrighty.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so
Thank you,
much.
Lois. Thank you.